Recharge from the sun. This illusion crazy. Get off the sidelines, stop all the guidelines. Quick, run your mouth and get in the game. Better let this light shine all over these timelines. No more wait for someone to blame. Get a bird's eye view to observe the real you. Program to trust this masquerade. Create a deja vu so the way to tip us to get knowledge with every single upgrade. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you correct it. Stop the routine is making you a troll. Even if it's hectic, your mind won't be septic. Truly activated all the way to the bone. And it actually be why, man, we always be high in frequency, so you know. So can't you see why I better have a keen eye off like a rocket? Yo, here we go. Yo, here we go. Yo, here we go. So I become detached and safe. Obeying you succumb to only having crumbs as your stones are raised.
I might be hiding nightly, my high almost is highly mighty, slightly invisible. Your eyelids look like creeping, there's something shining. Avatars ready to spit bars, smash guitars like it was a martial art. Weak men begin to fade away, warriors to the gates like it was Mandalay Bay. Suspect actions hold you down. We ride together where you can get left out. Above the clouds where the words live on. Redemption is king, karma strikes like a python. Check us right on front pulse. Hearts having a hard time with the truth and it hurts. Let it go, hands up for the ride. Energies go live, this time we glide.
Shake with sound, it's the rhythm, never touching down. Stir it up, then let it out. Stir it up, from moving it down. Stir it up, shake with sound, it's the rhythm, never touching down. Never touching down.
Right. What is up, everyone? It's your main man coming to you live. And guess who I brought with me this time? Oh, shit.
What's up? What's up?
Son.
Son.
It's episode 1 of Gnosis OverDoses with your hosts, Professor Prime and Frankie Fearless. It is good to finally be alive again and back in the mix. How are you doing?
I'm vibing high and I'm excellent. Thank you for asking. How about yourself there, my brother?
I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad at all. So listen, for everybody listening at home, let us know if our volumes are correct, because I made Kevin change his volume and I don't want to be the fault of a volume making mistake. So if anything sounds low, let us know. Hey, I miss you guys too. What's going on here in the chat? What's up, everybody in the chat? We we're very happy to have you join us as we discuss the new release, Never Touching Down.
The concept video is the new release. That, like, it is the newest
It's the newest iteration of the release
of the release of the release.
of the release before the release. So one of the things we're learning as artists is that you have to have like a bunch of different releases for things, right? Right. There's the concept video. That's the lyric video specifically. You know, release date for the song is this date, is this time. It's pretty interesting, man. I'm learning a lot so far. It's been a crazy ride.
Absolutely.
Right.
I didn't. I was when we started this. I was unaware that I'd be having to wear so many hats, like not only engulfed in like the production or engineering side of like that's just sound itself. Then there's this whole other thing that you have to do as well. Like if you're going to be truly independent and sovereign and like handle your own shit, and well, I don't think I should be cussing. Damn.
That's all right. You just cut that one out on the shorts. So one of the things I'm learning, because we're going to talk about making the video and all the things that go along with this stuff. It's super in depth, in detail, and you and I are doing everything that has to be done under the roof, regardless, you know, who's doing this and who's doing that. Between the two of us, that's how it's getting done, which it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we're not going to put it, if you wouldn't put in the time to your, like, that's the way I've always looked at it. Like, if you're not going to take yourself seriously, how can you expect other people to take you serious? Meaning, you know, if you don't take the time to handle things yourself, because that's how much you care about your craft and what you're doing, then how would you expect somebody else to look at you as a professional or take you serious as well? At least that's how I see it anyway. That's the way I've always approached it. Like,
right,
so.
right. As an artist, it's weird though for me. Well, it's in the group still, so it's related, right? So we make the music, you make it, and you know, we put shit together. We take the lyrics, we slap them on. Back in the day, I was more like I had nothing to do with the beat making process. Nothing. Like it was, what do you got? And we went, oh, we got this cool concept, and we would just start babbling it around, and a producer that we'd have to hire would have to come in and just throw beats at us or just make one up right there that fits what we were saying. Like it was just an interesting process back then. So for me, I just kind of looked at that. Never been involved this much. Like I've booked shows, I've called the radio stations, I do the interviews. But when it comes to this part, we had label people doing stuff at some point, or other people. There were so many of us that people were just doing other things. So I didn't have to be such a master of the art. I can just be like a hip hop artist. I could focus on the talent. But now it seems in this world, you have to be the entire thing. I mean, we're literally filming the video and you're slapping everything together. And then, you know, we're doing, so it's like visual effects. Right, lightning. I said in front of him one day, like lightning's coming out of your fingertips, and then the next time I saw the video, it had lightning. I thought that was fantastic. But these are and that's like you didn't know, and then you just did it right there. So there's this thing occurring in the world where it's making you more of a well-rounded artist, businessman, the whole thing. You got to do the whole thing.
Yeah. Like,
how long you been doing music?
My life, basically, yeah. Now I can, like, since I was a kid. But as far like kind of like you, when I was in the DC area, like playing shows locally, I was more focused on just the performance aspect of it. You know, we were playing shows quite a bit, and there were so many that it would just I would be concentrating on the live show, the live this, that, and the other, and we had a team of people that would handle everything else. So we're both kind of like learning as we go. The little bit of experience I did have, I retained that pretty well, surprisingly, and then was able to put it into this. And then that gave me a good jumping off point to accelerate where it could have taken a lot longer than it has anyway. So it's all about divine timing and the right timing, right? So here we go. Here we are.
Yeah, windows of opportunity and all that stuff. And do you make your own opportunities, and do the windows of opportunities open if you're out there making the magic? This is something that I'm learning as well. You know, we KG and I have never met in person. Right? We've still never been in the same room together, right? I don't know how tall he is. I don't know how much he weighs. I just look at him and go, oh, okay, he's this. Right? But we started with the zero, right? Well, just the thought. And I don't know, it's been an amazing process to watch and go through. And I came through the door kicking and screaming like a little fat baby. I didn't want nothing to do with it. Hey Lexi, how you doing? No, the sales for us, we don't get to see the sales. Was it go quarterly?
Yeah,
is when we see it up in through our distribution and everything, and through the label. So even though it's us, we have to wait for the reports to come out. So it gathers the reports over the course of I don't know. I think they do it monthly, maybe even. But I've seen weak ass numbers in the distribution with the dollar signs next to it. You know what I'm saying? Compared to what I'm seeing on the external. So that's why I know data hasn't been collected yet, because I've seen this work with HeistClick. So I know how it's going to work with Suns. When you see 1,000 clicks over here and 100 clicks over there, and then you go in distribution and you're not seeing the sales yet. And you're like looking at the report going, where's all the numbers that I'm seeing externally on all the websites? It takes like 3 months to clear that. So once the ball like gets rolling and things start adding up, you'll start to see the numbers really generate and move. Spotify lets you see as it happens, but they don't let you see sales. Like if somebody buys your Spotify for downloads, or we don't see that until the back end it shows up. So that's an interesting thing. And we're considered the label now, which is great. Like we're the label. We are the label. We have the distribution, which is nice, right? It was at once like you're just an everyday artist paying your way through it. And then you hit a little bit, I don't know, you've been in the game long enough. You've been putting out music throughout different variations, varieties, and distribution offers you label status, which is great. Just helps with everything. You get full distribution, everything that goes along with it. So all the knowledge that you can acquire in the background is now yours. So now it's like, I've absolutely, blockchain's going to change this whole thing. If you want, I could just tell you right now, Lexi, I saw the craziest thing. I told Kevin this from day one. It's going to be a grassroots movement that moves through music because of everything that's happening, because we're basically battling the artificial intelligence algorithms with everyone. So it's a pay-to-play system. And then you would have to pay to get the information, for the most part, from your favorite guys, like that we even have like mentors we look to. But there's only so far their info will go before you have to pay them to get it, right? So there's this weird dynamic with music right now, and people like Tom McDonald are showing that you can break through, things could be done differently, but just still the regular guy really doesn't have all that. But something's going to happen, and the grassroots movement's going to blow out, and there's going to be like music entering into 5D. During that time, blockchain goes live. Things like Ethereum starts working the way it's supposed to, not the way that everybody's just buying it right now. They don't even know what it is, but it's really you can build on it contracts, so smart contracts. So Kevin and I, me and KG could go. We can have an Ethereum contract set up, and then we can say it's 50-50. I'm just gonna keep this simple. So everything that comes through, since it's just me and you, is just 50-50. So we go and do a show, and we're contracted. Now, nobody at the show, they're going to cash out at this at some point, where you're going to be coming to the show using and spending Ethereum. You're not going to be really using Bitcoin. Bitcoin's like a storage of money. You want your wealth, storage of wealth. You want to keep that separate from all this. But you can use other coins, Ethereum coin, to just come to the concert, right? So let's say you want to come to the show. You show up with your phone, you blick it in. Here's my ticket. Now it's paid. Boom. It immediately, say it's $20. It splits $10 and $10, both to the two of us. However, along that route, let's say we have a manager and we have vendors, the stadium itself, or the house, we'll just call it, let's say, security. So everyone gets a percentage of that before it even breaks into the 50-50, right? All those get settled beforehand, so we know exactly what everyone's making, right? So the algorithm in the blockchain breaks it into pieces and sends individual chunks as each person comes in and scans the phone. Boom, goes right to everyone. So you don't go to the boss at the end of the night, and I don't have to wait till 4:30 in the morning with Kevin going, yo, am I going to have to go in the back and just beat money out of this guy like I used to have to do with my old group? They'd be like, look, you guys got to check in at 6. I'm like, 6 o'clock. What time we going on? Oh, you'll be on at 9. Then you get there and they go, okay, you're going on at 1. And you're like, I got to stay here from 6 to 1. And they're like, yeah, but we don't pay out till 4:30. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
There's an entourage there's 15 to 20 of us here. It's going to get rowdy by 6:30. Anyway, so then you come in and you're like, wow, I like this. I'm going to buy an album because they released a song here. And then I want a t-shirt and like a Pepsi. All whatever you're buying is getting split all to the individual people because of the smart contract. So as Kevin and I would be on stage, we'd be doing our thing. Oh, we're going crazy. You couldn't keep your phone with you because it would just be going off every single time somebody runs in. You'd get an alert, comes in, bing, 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 bing. Everybody different t-shirts and hats and this and just showing up, say there's a cover. It all gets split perfectly. So I don't have to talk to any of you. KG and I don't have to argue as a group who gets paid more, what gets paid. That all gets handled behind the scenes in a contract. And then it's agreed upon per event, let's say. Period. And let's say you bought something online at the website. Futuristically speaking, when it's on the blockchain, it'll be a smart contract there as well that just goes, the vendor gets paid first. Like the vendors always get paid. We get paid last. It splits off immediately. Somebody bought a hoodie and the percentages go out and none of us have to argue points because we already know what the deal is, which is great for us. I mean, as a group, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You don't have to argue about money and waste time, effort, energy. There's a lot that we do that has like, hurry up and wait. There's a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
The merch shop has been getting upgraded. Everything has been upgrading. I'm going to share a little bit tonight too, to just show everyone, you know, at least what we've been doing. Like literally everything from the artwork, the graphics, all the designing that you see in every one of the photos, in the videos. That's all us doing all that. Like we've elevated it. I don't know. It's interesting starting at zero and just starting a project like this. This is like building a house to me, like a foundation.
Absolutely.
And it has to be good, right? Perfect, subjective. I don't think perfect it really truly exists, except in the mind.
Right.
Right. Because some people are like, you know, I don't like you. It's cool. You know, I don't like you either. But I send you love. Couple of other things. KG does all these different tracks. So when you hear like these tracks and it's hip hop, he tricked me. He was like, listen, it's hip hop. There's a hip hop group. Don't get it confused. Frank, don't let me yo, don't let me tell you it's hip hop, bro. I'm like, I got it. It's hip hop. I love hip hop. It's groovy. And I'm in, bro. You don't have to sell it to me. We're doing this together. Whoa, what? And then he busts out the rock, and I was like, yo, I love rock, but this is like real. Our stuff was like sampled 3-chord jams, right? Simple stuff. This is like elevated, high frequency.
Yes, indeedy.
How did we come up with that? High frequency nostalgia, futuristic nostalgia. Do you remember?
I was sitting here. I can't remember what triggered it. I cannot remember what triggered it. But I was sitting here. I was like, and that phrase just kind of like, I think I wrote it down, and I was like, it's been staring us in the face the entire time, and there it is. There's it. Like, it's its own genre. I mean, that's, you know, that's making a statement. If you want to clarify our if you want to have or say that you have created your own genre, but I think we have. I think that everything is intentional. What you hear, the nostalgic references that you're hearing, all that stuff is intentional and supposed to be there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Why not? Some old Chuck D. Some old Chuck D.
No, but it's like it's got touches of everything that we all remember as being great in music. Has like touches of it everywhere. And then the sound is different though. I was trying to explain it to my father. He's like, this is good music. How you do that? He sings 1940s, 1950s,
right on.
1960s. He's like, I don't even know what this is, but this is pretty good. I'm like, yeah, right. He goes, this is a lot. Who's playing this stuff? I go, Kev's doing all this stuff he goes, how do you classify this music? What would you say? I go, it's high frequency futuristic nostalgia. And he went, you know, I don't know what you're talking about, but it makes total sense because I know exactly what you're saying. Because he was trying to figure it out with me, like we need to figure this out. And I'm like, no, we already did. We labeled it and everything. Because he's like, yeah, it's good, but it reminds me of something. I go, what? Can you figure it out? He goes, no, it just makes me, and that's the high frequency making me feel good. He's an old guy, would never listen to this, except that I'm his son and he loves me. And he's like, oh my gosh, I have to listen to this. Make sure you're not ruining the name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then he heard it and was like, oh shit.
That's awesome.
And all right, so then the futuristic sound on it is like, we were trying to break that down today. Like when I heard Fergie, right? Singing with Black Eyed Peas. I was in Mexico. I actually met them. I saw them before they blew up and all this. They had something. And it was like hip hop. They were doing rock. She was singing and going crazy. And it was just, we all knew it was hip hop, but it was different. It was like high vibed mixed with this other stuff, right? In our group, it's everything. Like, it's not other stuff. It's like, dude, we're on Spotify and they're like, okay, so what does it sound like? What does this do? What does this do? And we're like checking off boxes that are everything from electronic to like hard rock. What was it? It was showing up in EMD, right?
EDM.
Yeah, it's showing up. I tell you all the time, we're in the hard rock and metal category on YouTube. Like we're in the electronics, not electronic. We're in the electronic.
My
fucking
plan
genre.
is working perfectly. Like as many arms as like the wider the influence, like the better. Like this is supposed to assist everybody.
What I'm saying is that's new. That's amazing. Like you've developed this. You were like, welcome to the world of KG. Ha ha ha. And I was laughing. I'm like, oh, great. He got me. He sucked me in.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, that's funny. But yeah, so we started from zero and worked our way through. And then we get to this song, Never Touching Down. And I hit the worst block of my life with this track. I was just having the hardest time writing for this. I was still defunct from the like being like OG hip hop into, because I wanted this when I was younger and then couldn't get it. So I got the version of it that I got and just accept it. That was my past. And now I'm getting it on the table, like, here you go. But I've developed like an OG style, like yo, 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 instead of a yo, yo, yo. Like I like calm down a little bit. And then you throw this down at me like, yo, this is it. This is a good one. And I'm like, well, I love all these songs, but this is pretty crazy. And I couldn't write for it.
Yeah.
It was the hardest thing in the world.
Like, usually when it happens quickly, like the whole thing goes, you know, intro, hook, chorus, and it just, then the things just start flowing like really quickly. Like I'm just like, that's just going to be a good one. But like in the one term that kept popping up when I was coming up with the thing was to stir it up. And like when you stir it, like that's why throughout that concept video, you see the concept of spirals. And whether they're complex or small in nature, whatever, when you're stirring something, you know, either whether you're spiraling out or spiraling up and out, something of the sort, that's what it's meant to signify. And then, yeah, I got it to its point where it's still a rough mix. And that's when I got it to you. And then you had your kind of a death and rebirth of,
I walked through hell with this one and then came out shining. I mean, it just anyone that knows me knows Fearless and, you know, the things I go through. To throw it down on this track, I had to change. It was like I had to go into the cocoon, figure it out, and just it stumped me that I stopped writing across the board. I was having problems with more than just like 4 lines. And when this came out, I was changed already inside from the experience. So it was a weird moment where I remember telling you like, no, I've had it now. Like I can't let MCs and people like Sam Smith go around at the Grammys dressed as like a man girl pig and then think that you're going to tell me you're a rock star. And then all these people out there that are sending people into rabbit holes in different directions, artists that are like purely satanic. It's obvious you're doing rituals. Well, somebody's got to be the anti-agenda. And I'm not we're not woke or nothing. We're obviously like conscious spiritual. You know, we're the Suns. This is it. We're here. We're activated. We're online. We're coming on and we're letting people know we're here. So that all happened internally writing this track, which is weird because this is the track that blew up. You know, we have promotion going and everything, but this track before the promotion started already blew up. Do you remember that night?
Yeah.
You were like, bro, look at this. I didn't even look. And then look at that. But the song's called Never Touching Down. And then all of these things that had to, like, if you were in a rocket, it was like the rockets that fall off before the main rocket keeps going, right? All those little compartments. You just got to empty all this stuff and go. There's no place for it now. All your hang-ups and clutter and all kinds of nonsense. For me, it was a spiritual experience. I hit a wall so hard, and I was like doing some shamanic stuff, personal, internal stuff. And then I was like, yo, I need help writing. I need one of y'all to just like show me what I'm doing wrong. Like I can't work. Like it's not working. And Guru just shows up. It was like a hip hop Hall of Fame that I could see around me, third eye style, like just blaring. And he just was standing there, and he was in a wife beater with a red hat, and it was like a fisherman's hat, and he has glasses, and he was like, "Yo, just listen to me, what I'm trying to tell you," because it was almost like the universe was give him the guy he knows will listen to. Right? I was like, "Whoa," and he's like, "Stop whoaing, just look at me in the face." So I'm like, "I'm looking." All right, don't look away, don't say a word. And I'm like, what is it? And he just started rhyming. And then I was rhyming with him. Somehow I melded frequency with this guy. And then he's like, listen to how I'm going with this. See how I can just chill. I know this is weird. MCs don't talk about this. They just write their songs and go. Right? They don't tell you about their ghostwriters or nothing. We don't have ghostwriters. We write everything ourselves. I write all my lines. He writes his lines, and then we share lines if it's necessary. And it's not really a big deal. But when you have writer's block and you're the guy doing the whole thing, it really sets you back, and you feel like you're not worthy. Right? Do you ever feel not worthy? That's like the worst feeling in the world, being like I can't perform my duty that I've been performing for almost 20 years, right? It's like I'm worthless. Nobody wants to listen to me no more. Blah, blah, blah. All because I can't get words out of my mouth onto paper. I can't get it out. And then I just hear this cadence with him, and I caught it. I caught the wave, and I started going with him. And he wasn't giving me the lyrics. He was giving me the mental rhythm of how to break down the track that you gave me. But then it was like it broke open to all tracks. Everything you've given me thus far has been getting manhandled. Like I have writing for days. It just keeps coming out. I don't know what's happening. But I do know what's happening. I broke through that.
Yeah.
There's no more stipulation like, oh, well, you know how the industry is. And you know how this is. Maybe there was a lot of attachment to that, and you can't take that if you're never going to touch down again. You know, the concept of the track for me was you're not touching down, which means you're never coming back.
Right.
So this is it. Just like the ascension, like we're blasting off, we're spiraling out. It's a wrap, folks. We're going brand new. Right. And somehow the style erupted. It's erupting around us. I wish I was in the same area as you so we could work in the same studio. That'll happen futuristically in our high frequency nostalgia. But as of right now, what's developing out of this is this new thing, this new breed of style and music that can cover all bases.
Absolutely.
I mean, how does this make you feel? I mean, you're literally creating all the music for this.
I
mean, what goes through your head, man?
it is all about a frequency, so a vibe. And it was like, I don't know if you remember, like, there was a period of time for like, I think it was like 7 years where I didn't create shit. It was, I was working at a retail, we'll say a music retail outlet that was not conducive because of the way that I hear and perceive sound. When you hear butchered versions of Sweet Child of Mine every single day for like years on end, like it affects your psyche. So during that entire time that I was working there, like I didn't create, maybe I wrote 4 tracks that were of today's stature, like worthiness that could be, and I still have them, but 4 in 7 years, that's ridiculous. Like that is a slowdown of epic proportions. So I was all of a sudden, you know, that I'd gotten there's some things that have vanished from my life, and it lifted the weight off my shoulders, if you will. And then once I like kind of got the flow state and felt how our vibe feels, it's very easy for me to keep constantly tapping back into that, whether it's a more aggressive track, whether it's a more like ambient or chill acoustic track, but it becomes, or you become like the lifestyle. It's like that's what the spirituality aspect and everything. It's not just something that we talk about and something we say. It's something you do. It's a lifestyle. That's why I like the track like for Never Touching Down, as far as like where I was coming from, is ultimately it's referring to like a high frequency mindset that's implemented into one's like life. So like I said, it's a lifestyle. It's when stuck to on a consistent basis, you remember your power. So like there's an image that I created where like this someone, it doesn't, you know, man, woman, whatever, are it, they, a being of sorts is levitating above their city, and that's because they've remembered their own power. They've lifted off the ground. They don't ever have to touch down to the third lower density where everything's chaotic and loud and noisy and heavy and grimy and just like so that's where I was coming from with this song in particular, but it was still framed in that vibe or frequency that is ours, I think. Whether that
it definitely is, man.
Hip hop, rock, whatever, like it's all those things, but it remains, it has a constant vibe frequency to it that you'd be like, oh yeah, that's them boys right there. That's who that is right there.
Yeah, like you'll know it's us, which, you know, it's hard for a group to develop that, to just have 2 guys that never met except this way, right? To be able to,
yeah,
I know some people would say you had to have all your experiences in a row,
yes,
on both sides,
sure,
to even understand what you were about to do now. I mean, when I see Never Touching Down, I remember ayahuasca saying to me, when I asked about music, I said, the music sucks, ayahuasca. Like I was talking to her and she was like, what bothers you about it? And I'm like, it's terrible. I heard this song that's called I'm So Happy. She goes, I've heard it. I go, it doesn't make me happy anywhere at all. And she's like, well, when you can't find something in the music that you love and want to sing to, you need to go write your own song and sing it and just keep writing them. So, you know, that's a great idea. That's literally a great idea. And then not ever going back to the thought of, I don't like the music.
Sure.
Right now, I'm not making an excuse anymore. It doesn't matter if the music sucks and you don't like it. I make music, so I'm happy. Now I'm not unhappy.
Right.
Like you can't sing Metallica songs in the shower for your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a musician, you got to get out there and roll it. Even as a fan, like I got tired of listening to certain things that it just is not good, and they're like, well, it's great. And the whole younger generation's like, you don't know, bro, this is the bomb diggity. So then I say stuff like, yo, what's your favorite song of my group growing up? Like, what did you like about me? And they're like, oh, that song Down on the Corner, that was the bomb. So I'm like, Down on the Corner is the song you like? I'm like, that's a sample from Creedence Clearwater Revival from like the late 60s, early 70s. And they're like, what? I go, yeah, you're calling me an old man because I was doing hip hop then and this and that. I said, but what you loved was the old stuff.
Right.
Right. So you love the nostalgia. You just didn't know any better because the radio's force feeding you nonsense constantly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Never Touching Down to me was the release of this stuff. Like, we're not going to go there anymore. It's in my hands and in our hands what we do, right? So if you're learning to fly, you can't really hold my hand. There's a point where you have to fly, right? Metaphorically. And it means a lot. Like it when I talk about this stuff, it crushes inside because people are like, don't tell them how you feel about your verse and like that weird stuff. You had to go to guru. I'm like, listen, I'm a shaman, right? So there are masters in that have been in this world that now reside in the other world. If anyone's going to show me, teach me, whatever, I'm going to go directly to the source of it. And I'm going to have them show me what my problem is. Like, can you just look at me and tell me what my issue is? Take a look at this and then take the criticism and work on it.
Right.
The criticism's usually like, stop being so hard on yourself. Just relax. Listen, it's easy. It's always, for me, slow down. You're going too fast. You put too much. Take out.
Yeah.
Do less. Okay, go ahead, do more. Because our live performance, I know this is going to happen when it comes to it, is going to present like this really intense situation of dudes that know how to do live performances now building into it. They're like, you don't have to go in and blow your load like you don't have to change that way. Listen, just find inside the rhythm, the flow. It's right there. And now I hear sounds. So when I hear you talking about sounds sometimes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. I didn't get it before. I don't know if I didn't give a shit or didn't get it because it was like a lifestyle thing. It was like, oh yeah, that's great. Let's do it. That's how I used to be. Yeah, that's great. That's fucking great. Yeah, could you put a guitar there? Could you put a good guitar there? Frank, how would you like the guitar to sound? This is what I would do. They're like, what the fuck is that? What is could you do better than that? And I'm like, no. My brother would come in and sit down and just show him. So I had that like spoiledness, which I've lost it completely. Being at zero will keep you humble.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's why I'm like, I'm so proud of you and me and what we've been doing.
Yeah, I think the next thing we need to work around, I don't know how it's going to work, but eventually it's all going to crumble. Because, like with our message, we almost have to like self-censor sometimes or risk not getting exposure to what we're trying to do, which is ultimately assist and help people wake up, rise up, whatever. So like it all depends on what the topic is, but it's like the censorship of given topics lately is straight like not American, definitely it is a ridiculous the grasp or the clamps that's been put down on top of you if you're going to talk about certain things, say certain things.
Oh yeah, you're censored across the board.
If you have a difference of opinion, even like you're targeted, harassed, and made out to be a threat now. Like that's put on a list or possibly and investigated and all kinds of crazy shit. Like I don't know. It's definitely not something that I thought that I'd be witnessing for sure. Like that this is going on in the United States. Like it doesn't even feel like
has to come out. So it's like I was telling you, there's like a soundtrack to this thing. The ascension that's going on, right? It's like the music is gonna go off, and music always helps the scenario. It never hurts.
Right.
You and I met through Truth Frequency, and then worked at Fearless, doing meditations and stuff with everyone. And then you were like, hey, let's do music. And then through me discussing raising your consciousness and all the crazy adventures, saying constantly you have to go out and do the work, and you got to create, and you got to do the thing you love. And meanwhile, I wasn't doing the other thing I loved. I was just telling my story, but I wasn't doing music. I hadn't released anything for years, and I always used to say, oh, I'll get to it, and I never get to it because my story is crazy. So the crazier it got, the crazier the story got. I should have just been writing music, but I kind of did and didn't. I was tiptoeing, and I have some cool stuff, but not really. And then you and I got together and did this and never met. So we're showing a group of 500 people. I don't care who in the group cares or not. It's not about that. It was to show, I keep saying we are the example for others. So it's not just Kev. So I was talking about Fearless. So when I was in Fearless, I'm like, we are the example. So you have to go out and meditate and shine your light, and then show others that you can do this, because this is important, because the ascension's occurring and we're spiraling up and out and all this great stuff. And our music does that. It like is the incarnation of what I am speaking about, and what I should go out and do, and what I'm telling others people to go out and do. So by then, now, out of nowhere, I was doing Fearless for years. Then you were there, and then we started doing this, and now there is no time where we haven't been doing it.
Right.
And now when people in the group see us, they're like, oh yeah, that's Sons of the Sun. Like they made the group. I remember before they didn't have that. They were just two dudes in the group. And Frank was talking about his experiences with DMT and ayahuasca and all kinds of crazy mushroom stories. Right? So that's crazy to me. There was nothing there, dude. This is an important thing. There was like nothing. There was the city below that you talk about. It was like stirring in the pot. We were sick of it. It's dirty. It's filthy. We're annoyed. We're grumpy. The music's not good. It's tuned to crap frequencies. It doesn't make us feel right. Everyone's promoting stuff that I'm not really, I think I'm into, but you're really not into. Trust me. Because it doesn't get you anywhere. All the stuff they're promoting, they don't even do. So, and they all look like clowns now, and they sound like clowns. And girls. And boys. I just want to I throw it back the other way too. So there's a lot of confusion going on out there, right? Well, we're Absolutely. The non-confusion and the non-conformist.
A lot of fear going on out there, especially from the mainstream media and stuff like that. So confusion, fear, paranoia, the usual suspects.
Listen, Puff Daddy and those guys are not people to look up to. I'm just saying. Like, there's a lot of good music in this world, and you don't need the industry telling you Sam Smith is good, because for every Sam Smith, I'll give you 100 guys that are better than him, that aren't even me. That should be there, but he's there, and he's rocking like girls' clothes, dirty, crappy, satanic stuff as well. acting like a boy, girl, he, him, whatever. Like, look, there's just too much going on there. I don't even want to break down the satanic ritual itself. That's basically taking your soul life energies from you, because that's too much. People shut down at that point. All I'm saying is that's the stuff they're putting on you. So you go and listen to him on Spotify and he gets a bazillion things, but they paid $1 bazillion to put him in front of you. You see, that's the part you don't see. Right. So then the same 20 artists are always there. Right. And then they let in like these new little weirdos, and you see them all getting knocked off, or they're here today, gone tomorrow. That's the industry is controlling that. We are to creation is not to be controlled.
Right.
Right. Like a creation is to be created and enjoyed. You're taking something that is a positive and a beautiful situation and turning it and creating like a game time scenario, like who's the best. And that's cool. You could do all that stuff, but let everybody else in then. So there's real competition. If that's what you're looking to compete, I'm not looking to compete. I'm just making good music.
Right. It's about collab.
Where's the good music? Just people, that's able to jam and get down. Well, here we are, right? We're at the doorstep of ascension, and we're here rolling through, making music. We're pushing back up against the machine just by doing more music, right? How do you feel releasing one song at a time instead of album at a time with the state that's going on right now?
It was a different mindset, but one that I appreciate 10 times over now, because if when you release a bunch of songs at one time, you don't really have the time, or you're saying that some are good. That's where you get your radio friendly or fucking, there's a curse word, or singles that are meant to promote the all. Whereas when you do it on a every 3 month basis, each track that you release, you're giving significant weight to by saying, hey, we're not going to just blanket you or throw a bunch of things at you at one time. This is an individual, like, track by track basis, and each track has its own time to shine. And then by the time our promotion or it kind of starts becoming, okay, that was good. What's next? Boom, this is what's next, because it's been that time frame where another one's coming down the pike. So I mean, I was of the old school adage for a long time, and then starting from zero and taking on this approach, I appreciate it much more because of that. Each track gets its own set time to be promoted and cherished or whatever, and then as the new ones come out and new people discover the old ones, now you have a catalog to go back and reference. It's not just the newest release. There's like 8 other tracks there now, so essentially now you have an album that you can go listen to.
I like it because the attention span on people is so short now. When we were kids, I had Kiss Alive too. I used to open that up, listen to the album song by song, and knew the buildup of each song and where this whole thing was leading, because they put it on there specifically to lead you down a certain way. Just, what they want you to hear first and second, and the third song's got to be a master song, and you don't get that anymore. But the individual song, if you release it that way, and then it's like, well, what do they got? Boom, you throw it down. You're forced to listen to the one. Even if they kick it back after hearing the one, if you would have released the album, they would have listened to the whole thing that day. And that's it. Next.
Right.
Right. But now it's boom. Oh, I'm going to add that to my playlist. And then the next time another one drops, boom, another one to the playlist. It's single, 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 single. And before you know it, your playlist is loaded with Suns tracks. And when you look back, you see that we've been releasing all the year before. And there's the catalog.
Yep. Beautimous.
Joe, check this out, bro. So I want people to just take a look, bong, at the website, because we've been doing different things. I know people, I don't really promote, and I'm back to promoting because it's groovy. So check it out. Sons of the Suns is at IamWeAreFearless.com, right? We got a lot of great things from different artists, but we're going to just work with the Suns right now. Go in here, click into the Suns, bang. Check this out. We got Going AWOL t-shirts, 15-ounce mugs, stickers, all different size stickers, by the way. They have those giant ones that cover the back of like your laptop, and then they have ones that go on your skateboard, all different cool crazy stuff. Don't forget, we got the hoodies. For every release, we try to, although I didn't get the Never Touching Down stuff done. I think that's what I forgot to do right there. I just remembered. Yeah. Okay, Relentless. And we got hoodies and t-shirts. Everything, the t-shirts are all 22.22. The hoodies are all 44.44. We got low, as low as we can go. And just, I appreciate it if you go over there. We'd appreciate it. Just check it out. If there's anything you like, scoop it up and let your sunshine kind of, Nah, it's important to let people know what we're doing because we're busy creating all of this stuff. And I never did anything like this. And it's great. See, now we're reviewing it. And even though we're on video and it's like, oh, look at all this. Like we did quite a lot in a not long amount of time, and people have to be proud of what they're doing humbly, of course.
Right.
And then I just want to just stop by the Spotify screen. Dun, 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 dun. If you go by Spotify, don't forget to check us out. Click follow, check out the songs, throw a heart, throw us up on your playlist. Right now, we jumped to 345 monthly listeners from 0 over the course of like a year and a quarter.
Yeah.
This has been the hardest climb ever. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done. I've never done. It's not easy. So if people are like, "Oh, you're doing a show," and you're look, dude, everything we're doing has been difficult, and we just say to each other, "Well, what needs to be done?" Oh, I guess we're learning this today, right? More videos of this guy with the pink hair, like just a nonstop. But that's the idea is, yeah. Because how else are you gonna know?
Right?
How else are you gonna know? How are you gonna find out? Right? We could complain about it all day. We could pretend, or we could try it. We can science it. Right? We can show people that there's new, good stuff out there, and people are ready for it. They're lively. Everybody wants something new. They need fresh.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. Ultimately the net song Never Touching Down is a call to get up off your couch and become the change to make it happen. So it also nudges everyone to stay smart and observe the situations that are thrown at us on a constant basis because they want you numb and they want you to obey and they want you to forget who and what you are. Sons want us all to remember. That's what I'll.
Yeah, like we're waking up inside of what's going on, and we want more people waking up to what's going on. Like we want your sun to shine, right? Like we know how from our at least perspective how this works, right? We're literally suns coming from through the sun, and each one is our own star. Our own self-sustaining awesomeness, but the idea is to show you that you're fully capable of doing the whole thing. The music is there now provided for you to rise. It's like a little bit of, it's like a soundtrack to your ascension. It's like, I couldn't think of, like I was telling you this before, like I couldn't write a better story with us. Like, it's crazy what has happened and how it happened and why it went down. Everything on how we met and through the crazy stories. And then it was just like, hey, let's do music. Right. And now here we are.
Absolutely.
And we actually have quality product that came out of nothing. That's the thing. I keep stressing that so much because it's from the nothing, the thought behind it. You know, we're not, it takes a lot to do this, right? We're not spring chickens. I don't even want to say it like that because that sounds weird. But we've been around for a long time, right? And to just start with your back against the wall with nothing, how are you going to do this? It's like, well, there's no one to call.
No Ghostbusters, no none of that shit.
No, there's no help. There's just people to criticize.
I
got a lot of that shit.
Oh yeah.
Right. But also a lot of good. And a lot of good comes out of it. Right. So Never Touching Down is the whole push for the great takeoff. Dropping 3D behind. Shooting up over 4D and landing right into 5. As soon as the doors open, the music's blasting. Right? And you're just like, yo, this is crazy. And then, come on out, let's do this. That's how I see it. It's very imaginative.
Hey.
But in my experiences, in like my mushroom experiences, I've been in places where they were playing the music that was done already, where they were out of time. So to them, they were like, we're not from the future. We're not from the Matrix time that you're from. So you already did a whole bunch of music. We listen to it all the time. And I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. And then I hear me over the speakers and I'm like, oh, that's my voice. And then I'm just trying to like tune into it. Like, yo, that's pretty cool. And then I'm like, wait a second, what is that? And they just shut it off. They're like, don't let them hear it. It hasn't happened yet, but it has happened. For us, it happened. For you, it didn't happen. You got to still walk through that. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. I want to be part of that stuff. I want to be part of that adventure. I want to see where this goes. Right to the end, into the new beginning.
Absolutely.
That's what it's going to do. This is the launch pad right here. We've taken off and there's no going back.
Damn straight.
You can't parachute out at this height, Kev. Hey.
Forget it.
Right. So like when we talk about on the Fearless show, like go out and plant something that's like you want to get back at the system, plant in your front yard, get food, storable food, plant and fresh fluoride filters for your water, whatever, anything that you can do to uplift your situation. We're out doing the same thing with the same mode as somebody that would go plant and make something beautiful and create it. Like, oh, I want to put this here and create it and build it so I can eat it and it will nourish me and I will flourish from eating it. Sound works the same way.
Yeah. And I'd say we're not being influenced by mainstream media sources. Like we're stay aware of what's going on globally, like just to be aware of it, but we're not letting it affect us and influence our decisions, like, because ultimately that'll keep you in a constant state of fear. And then there they go. They're fucking winning if you live like that. So I certainly wouldn't be able to create any of the stuff that I've created in a constant fear state. You know what I mean? So
even
anything that makes you happy, do that shit. What's up?
Even like fear of what people would think at this point. Because
Sure.
they've been so inundated with the other stuff. What will they think about this?
Right. I mean,
you got to introduce them to it to find out.
Yeah.
No fear.
Like that's being outside of the comfort zone, man. Like that's like I think we're pretty much comfortable in the uncomfortable zone now.
I don't feel safe unless I'm in the uncomfortable zone now.
There you go. There you go.
Because I want to be teetering.
Like
I need balance. Like I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Is it this or that? And then start writing. That's when I take it, just goes. All right. The other day I sat down. Well, this wasn't the other day. It was like a couple weeks ago. I sat down to we were doing the 4-bar. We write four bars and then back 4 bars and back 4 bars. So we had stopped at one point, and then I was like, well, I can't stop. I need to do it, because I had stopped for it was like 20 days since I have done it. And I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. I need to. So I sat to write the 4, and I wrote 16, and then I wrote 30 something, and it just kept coming out. So I stopped. I said, okay, it's because some of it was trash. But the next morning when I woke up, I just X'd these lines and then looked on the paper. I had like a booger napkin, dude, and I had written across it the how to fix it, and I didn't remember doing it. So I looked down and I said, oh, what did I write here? Oh shit, okay, throw that out. And I fixed it, and then I wrote another 16, and I wrote 2 more hooks, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. I was just supposed to sit down and write 4 bars. When we first started this, to get 4 bars took me the same amount of time. As I'm telling you, the music's coming out. It took so long for 4 good lines to be created mentally, to where now it's just flushing out in directions where I'm like, whoa, this is great. And you got to take the chance sometimes, and I was getting a little comfortable with my flow, I think, and my voice. Like, it's easy to be on like capacitor.
Yeah.
The song capacitor. It's easy to be, yo, what's up, man? That's my regular voice. This is my regular voice, right? Hey man, what's going on? My name's Frank. It's good to meet you. But if I talk like that to people, they won't hear me. I have to get up on you to hear that. But that beat allows that kind of voice to be in there. So when I'm not, that's just my regular voice for real. I can relax into that, and it booms, right? With the rock stuff, I'm competing with it a little bit. But you're not competing with it. You're not rocking it properly. That's what I learned. That's how I learned it. They were like, no. You got to be OG when you're being OG, and then you got to be this when you're being this. That's it. Just do it. Stop worrying about blah blah blah. I don't know, and should I whatever. Just do it. See what happens. You're never gonna know unless you do it. Go. Why are you still talking to me? Why are you still telling? I don't want to hear it no more. Now it's your turn to go. And then one day you just let it out, and it works. And you're so excited, and all you want to do is make it work more, so you just keep writing more. You're like, whoa, this concept will work. I don't even know. I wrote about a girl that's a lizard.
Nice.
Right? And listen, and she's hiding a scorpion's tail. Right? And she's hot, and everyone's into her, but this is what she does. So and then she like gets my friend, and then I kind of step in. Just I don't know why I was writing this into a hook. So I write a 16 and then a hook that's all about this chick that's doing this. And I go, wow, I conceptualized something start to finish from the balance point of not knowing where this is coming from. And then I thought I was able to sit on my own verse and go, man, I remember this girl did this to me. I remember when that girl, stung me with the scorpion sting. I remember because I was like, why is my, and it was about like the lizard under the skin, like in V. She was tricking everyone. Right? And then it was like, well, she almost got me until she was like, yo, let me drink your blood. And I'm like, no. But just from that thought, this crazy thing came out. And futuristically speaking, it's crazy shit. It's off the wall, topical, fun, because it's fun to say things like that. Some of our stuff gets like deep, right? So you're just into it. You get really into your flow and your rhyme. How we do and stuff was fun for me. So I was like, hey, I was just kind of, you know, I had that cool hip hop vibe feel where you're just like, yeah, man, right? Live as it gets. It was a little more pumped. I'm like, I'm older now, so that's as lively as I like to get, right? God. Gone. That's how I feel, man. Right? I was like listening to it, like, yeah, man, this is crazy. This is rocking. And then you presented Relentless, and I lost my mind. I was like, yo, that's crazy. And then into this and breaking through all the new stuff that's coming out, everyone that's listening and everybody that's joined us, positive vibes to everyone that's here and that's listening to us just babble about this. But the new stuff is crazy. Yeah, like he's got something on the burner that we're just like, he's fixing and he's playing it for me and we're just playing it. Well, we have a whole bunch of other tracks that are just amazing. We got one dropping with Ben from the group, from Fearless, Fresh to Death, and we're coming out with that. And we got a couple other tracks that are awesome. They're awesome. Where you're like, oh, these are fucking good. And then this one though, I'm like, what is this? And I'm not allowed to talk about it past that. Right? We have a strict confidentiality Suns agreement, not to say shit till it's done and ready.
Yep.
But damn, it's completely different, right? And like I said, like we're all been different. Like you did calling shots.
Yeah.
Like what is that instrumental? But what is
I don't know. Yeah, like these are just moods. I guess they're moods that I get into, and when I blink my eyes, it's done, and then I'm just like, oh, that would be some good shit to hear when you're playing like some Grand Theft Auto or like whatever. Like so, it really resonated like that. So it didn't even need words. The groove, kind of that higher synth kind of carries. I mean, make up enter your own words here. I mean, me and you kicked around some ideas for them, but ultimately, I think it stands on its own without it. I mean, but like,
I like the idea of that part inside of the colon shots about pulling that out and rhyming on it.
Yeah.
I'm still with that. See, we have so many other things that are like hype that it's hard to. I was sick for from Christmas through January. I get better, have to do a week of ayahuasca ceremonies, and then get sick again. And then went down for weeks. I broke 3 teeth since the year started. Had to get all that stuff fixed. It was like a nightmare scenario up front. So the releases are slightly off, but wow, I cannot wait for this next like 6 rollouts are going to be incredible. And there's more than that. I don't even want to talk about it. We didn't even get into any of the stuff that I had dragged over from the old shit where I was like, hey, I need you to look at this. Like I still have that playlist. And then there's more that you were like, when I told you that I had wrote for them, you were like, some of those things are just concepts. They're not really meant to be, explored in the future or something you said to me. And I'm like, I don't care. It's still a good verse. I would just throw that shit down on something else. It is awesome. So yeah, so I'm proud to be part of something like this. And I'm glad that we've achieved this at this level. So, I mean, I just want to congratulate you. Because if I don't congratulate you, ain't nobody else going to do it.
Right? Give yourself a fucking pat on the back and a fucking thumbs up and an attaboy. Fucking there you go.
Nah, but we're doing it and we got it. Right? And we very appreciative to everybody else that has joined us for this journey. And this is just the beginning. We're just literally taking off now. That's how I'm seeing it. Like everything was a warm-up, even though it's not warm-up music, Although you can work out to it.
But if you're not subscribed on the Sons of the Sun YouTube page, like do that, because I update regularly to the community, and as things start progressing more and more and more, like I want to give exclusive content to people that have been around since the jump. You know what I mean? Like so.
In the description, we have something with an email where you can also get a different version of Going AWOL.
Going
Is that still
AWOL, yeah,
available?
yeah.
So yeah, that's unreleased and it's awesome. So you get a free copy of that just by jumping on the email list. You know, if that's something you're into, there's another song right there.
Yeah, it's that version's fire, like super, like I don't even know. So
We'll let you decide. So thank you so much. And everywhere, I know some people like Amazon Music, some people like YouTube, and some people like TikTok. We have everything right down there in the description. So you check it out. Find us on your favorite social media platform, and add us to the playlist. Let us know what you think. We just we want to have fun with this, and we're doing it for the love, and we love it a lot, right? And then we would just want to share this shit with everyone. So we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your ear, and thank you for your time. Is there anything you want to drop off with the listener's ear this evening?
No, just like I said, just to appreciate every one of you that's showing support and love. Like, we're sending it back to you, and sign up where you can. Like, I want to make that jump off point. Like, those who have been there from the day one, like, they'll get benefits that others will not. I'll put it like that. That's how I want to take care of the family. So, and
you'd be the first ear on and downloads on like all the new stuff that we're not pumping out to the public. It's just for family. Right.
Yeah, that kind of like want to give appreciation where it's due. So exclusive content, that kind of thing. Like, that's what's up.
Don't you have like I don't want to say DJ mixes because that might be wrong, but don't you have DJ mixes of some kind?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
you are correct, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on the they're on the YouTube page as well.
Yeah, we're even on SoundCloud.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit, I forgot.
Yeah. There's a nice group of people on there. I like the community. It's nice. They're lovely.
Lovely.
All right, everyone. Well, you have a great night. Remember, the universe rewards bravery. Sons of the Suns, find us everywhere. That there's everywhere there's music. And oh yeah, so here's a new thing. We're part of that program where you can add our music to to Instagram and Facebook, so you can use our music now in your videos, because we signed up with a program that allows you to use it, and they take care of us on the back end. That didn't sound right, but it works out. Yeah. Right. So check us out. And if you need any music for the videos, or you need let's say music for your project, right, you could hit either one of us up and give us a shot, see what we got. All right, everyone, have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Episode 2 coming at you soon. Peace.
Sons
of the sun.